Good morning, students. Yes, welcome to SRPS Online Studies. Today we are going to discuss our chapter number 13, that is sound. Okay, students. So, what is sound? We know about all this in this chapter. See, students, what is sound? Before this, we know about it. See, students, you can take one example. You can take something you can understand by your normal way. We hear sounds of various types around us every day. Okay, we all know some of them, like the sound of thunder, are loud. Other than these, the rustling of leaves are very soft. Some sounds are there, whistles are shrill, while others are the beating of drums are very dull. Some sounds are very pleasant to our ears, and some sounds are unpleasant to our ears. So each sound has its own characteristics. So it is because of these that we can recognize different types of sounds. Okay. So what do sounds help us? Sounds help us to communicate with each other. It is difficult to communicate with each other without talking. Several animals also communicate with each other through sounds. Okay. So in this chapter, what we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss that first of all, what is sound? Sound is a form of energy made by vibrations. You hear when you what you have know, we all know that if any object produce sound, it also produce some vibrations. So it is a form of energy made by vibrations. When an object vibrates, it causes the air particles around it to move. Okay, when an object vibrates, it causes the air particles around it to move. These particles bump into particles close to them, and this continue until they run out of energy. Okay, so in this way the sound is produced. Okay, try this activity at your hand. We can say that put your finger on your neck and say ah as loud as you can. What happened? Have you feel something? Now say it is soft as you can. You cannot only hear the sound, but also you can feel the vibration inside your throat. Okay, na? Okay. Now let's see how sound travels. When we are talking about the sound travels, we can say that the sound is passes through the medium. Okay. Sound is passes through the medium. Sound passes through the medium as longitudinal waves. When the vibrations are fast, you hear a high pitch, and when they are slow, you hear a low pitch. High pitch and low pitch is there, and sound travels through a longitudinal waves. If the vibrations are fast, we hear a high pitch sound, and if the vibrations are very slow, we hear a low pitch sound. Okay, students? Now, production of sound. How sound is produced? Let's see. Sound is produced due to the vibration of the object. Vibration is the rapid to and fro motion of an object. Okay, you can take one example. The sound of human voice is produced due to the vibration of the vocal cords. We all know about it. When our larynx or voice box or in our voice box, vocal cords are present. When the vocal cords are vibrate, the sound of human voice is produced. A stretched rubber band, when plugged, vibrates and produce sound. Okay. Now let's see. One activity is there. Strike the prongs of a tuning fork on a rubber pad and bring it near the ear. Okay. What you do? Strike the prongs of a tuning fork and then bring it near the ear. We can hear a sound. If a suspended table tennis ball is touched with a vibrating prong, the ball is pushed away rapidly. This shows that the prong is vibrating, and vibrating objects produce sound. Okay, students? Now, low sound and high sound. The pitch of sound, or we can say that the pitch of sound, shrillness or flatness. The pitch of sound shrillness or flatness depends on the frequency of vibrations. Depends upon the frequency of vibrations. Okay. If the frequency is high, the sound has a high pitch, and if the frequency is low, the sound has a low pitch. So high pitch equals to high frequency, low pitch equals to low frequency. Sound needs medium to travel. So sound is a mechanical wave and needs a medium to propagate or to travel. Sound travels through solid, liquid and gases. Sound does not travel in vacuum. So let's understand by this one concept by activity. Suspend an electric bell in an airtight bell jar. Okay, you have taken one electric bell and keep it in airtight bell jar. Connect the bell jar to a vacuum pump. If the switch is pressed, we can hear the sound of the bell. And if air is pumped out through the vacuum pump, we cannot hear the sound of the bell. Why? Because at previous air is present in it, so we can listen the sound of the bell. And when we remove out the air by the help of vacuum pump, so now it is to be now no air is present in them. And so what happened? So in this case we cannot hear any type of sound of the bell. So this shows that the sound needs a medium to travel and sound cannot travel in vacuum. Understand, student? Amplitude of sound. Amplitude of sound. What is the meaning of amplitude? See, students, we can take one example. The oscillations of a pendulum, have you seen? Yes, the oscillations of a pendulum are small if you give the bob a small push. If you give the bob a stronger push, the oscillations are larger. The maximum distance, what is this? The maximum distance by which the bob moves away from its mean position, that is the amplitude of the oscillations. The amplitude of a sound is also the maximum distance which is covered by a sound, that is called from its mean position, that is called our amplitude of a sound. So what they do, it volume control, loudness, strength of the wave measured in decibels, and energy of the waves. So this one is this one by the graphical representation it have given you the amplitude of sound. This one is our whole graphical presentation. Do you know how does a musical instrument create sound? It depends on the type of instrument. There are 4 types of instruments are there. Woodwind types of instruments, string instruments, percussion instruments and brass instruments. Let's see what is this. Woodwind instruments. Woodwinds makes music by blowing on the top of the instrument or on a reed. So flute, oboe, clarinet, bassoon, piccolo, these all are woodwind instruments. Okay, so in this one what happened? Woodwind, it is all made up of wood, and by the help of wind it makes some music, or blowing by the help of music, air. String instruments. String makes music by plucking or strumming the strings. In all these type of instruments, strings are there. When you are moving, plucking it, so by this what they can produce a sound. So they are string instruments. Now percussion instruments. Percussion instruments make music by striking, shaking and scraping them, just like a tambourine, drum, piano, cymbals, xylophone, maracas. These all are the things, these all are known as percussion instrument, because when we are beating it, when we are shaking it, when we are striking it, after that they can produce a music. Brass instrument. Brass instruments make music by buzzing lips while blowing. So these are our brass instruments, these which is you make music by buzzing lips. Okay, students. So this one is our whole types of instruments. Thank you.